Welcome to Gabe's Cave. I'm Marty. I'm your host today. And before we jump into what we're going to be talking about today, let's just thank our sponsors, RPG, RPGhiring.com, and Comic Shield. Make sure if you are interested in shipping comics, Comic Shield's one of the best comic boxes that we have. Thanks to our sponsors, we get to do this lovely show and episode, and we get to do all the things that we get to do to have fun. So, all right, some of the events that we're going to be coming up, OKC Pop Culture Convention, June 24th and 25th. Make sure you come out. We'll be doing all the panels. We'll be doing all the interviews. We're going to be hanging out with everybody, just having a lot of fun. So make sure you come out and see us if you're in the OKC area, June 24th and 25th. July the 16th, we have Lisa Constantino Miller here. That is Songbird Pixel Art. She does phenomenal work. She does covers. She's really just now breaking into the comic book cover area. She does a lot of pixel arts, phenomenal work. If you love the 80s and early 90s, like Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that, really cool stuff. June 22nd, man, we have a phenomenal guy here, author TV Phillips, is going to be in the house with us in the cave. He's a phenomenal guy, veteran. Just a great guy that we love being around. You're going to love him, so make sure you come out, show some love, and hope to see you there. All right, OKC Horror Con, August the 5th and 6th. It is going to be another spectacular show in OKC. Just so happened to be doing some OKC shows. We haven't done any there before, and it's pretty excited about going into OKC and doing some shows there. And then we have Cowtown Comic Con, September 30th through October 1st. Always one of our favorite shows. Love the guys over there at Pastime Comics, and so make sure you come out and see us. We'll be doing the panels and interviews at all three of these shows, so make sure you come out and show some love. Come out and say hi to us. Heck, we may give some free shirts away, things like that. So, we have a special guest today, and I'm really excited about this guy. It's really our first time to meet, and I have been collecting his work for quite a while, and it was just so happened to get him on Series 4 cards. I mean, he's been in the industry for a long time, very well known, and we're just excited because his work is unbelievable, and I really don't want to give away none of his work, but just because I'm a big fan of his work. So welcome, Lin Workman. How you doing, Lin?
Thank you, Marty. I'm doing great, man. It's good to see you. Like normally, if I see you on the computer or stuff like that, you're doing one of your live videos and showing us around inside Gabe's Cave, which you guys have been just like going crazy with that thing. It's just every time I turn around, you're adding on to it. It's I got to get down there one of these days. Yeah.
Well, you're not very far away. You ought to come in for a signing.
Oh, a signing.
Come in for a weekend. Come in for a signing. I know you don't do a lot of commissions anymore, do you?
No, I really don't. I worked so long doing other people's stuff that I got to where it's like, if I've got free time, because I've got a day job. I work at a comic shop as well, and if I've got free time, I want to do stuff for me. And here lately, with the Mid-South Cartoon Association that I'm a part of, and with my own podcast, the Drawing Funny, it's the free time is getting less and less. So if I'm going to draw something, it's got to be something I really want to draw on. And I just, like I said, I've been art director, anyway, you know what I'm talking about, too many times over the years. It's like, do what I want to do when I want to do it.
And you work at 901 Comics in Memphis, correct?
Yeah, I work at the East location, which is technically Cordova, but it's East Memphis. So, yeah.
Well, I love 901. I've been there many times. Shannon, I believe, is his name. I don't know the other guy that's there. I don't know him too well.
Jamie. Yeah, Jamie. Yep.
But
it's Shannon and Jamie.
I've always dealt with Shannon, and it's. I visit that shop pretty regular. So I need to go out to the Cordova. I cannot believe that I've not been out there yet. So it seems like it's a really cool, nice store.
It's fairly big. I was kind of shocked because it's kind of L shaped. There's like a beauty shop that's next door, but our store goes beside it and then behind it, and it's got like a little gallery room in the back where they do signings, and they've got a gaming area, and they have a bar, and so it's fairly good size especially for a comic shop.
So they got liquor license or beer license.
Oh yeah,
yes. Yeah, yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. That's really cool. We're opening up a food truck park next to Gabe's Cave.
I saw that. And, because we've got a food court truck thingy next to us. It's not involved with us, but it's just next door. And yeah, they get tons of people, especially when the weather is awesome. They just put up a new a big awning type tent thing for people to sit under, and so yeah, they get a ton of traffic. That should be great for you, especially when you do your different events and all.
I think it's going to be fun. Called DP's. DP's food. We're probably going to have a chimichanga truck, probably, I'm sure. But...
You got to. Yeah.
You got to. Well, Lin, so tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've been in the business a long time, and because you've been on a lot of projects. I mean, your work is, like I said, amazing. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that you've done. So because you do cartoon. What did you call your podcast again?
Oh, Drawing Funny. Yeah, I do that. It's part of the Mid-South Cartoon Association, which we just celebrated. This is our 36th year, our anniversary. I've been with the group for about 34 years. I started about a year or two after they did. But yeah, I first started off painting T-shirts in malls, and William Russell, William, I knew him back in my airbrushing days when I used to paint at different malls around town. And so I did that for a while, had a T-shirt shop in a couple of locations. And then I got into doing sketch cards. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Steve Stanley or not. He's done a lot of stuff for Topps. He's an amazing artist. I met him at the Metropolis Superman celebration, and we were in Artist Alley together. And he had asked me if I ever did sketch cards, and I kind of knew what they were because I'd seen a few people through Comic Geek Speak had mentioned them. I was like, no, I've never really done any. And so he asked me to send him some stuff for Star Trek because they're doing a Star Trek set. And I did some samples, sent it in. Didn't ever hear anything back. And he contacted me a little while later and said, hey, did you hear anything? I said, no. He goes, well, they're doing a Star Wars set. So, do up some more samples, send it in again. He said they're having a hard time getting anybody to hit their deadlines. And they're looking for people that can work with markers. And at the time, I was using like Prismacolors, Letrasets. It was before I got into the Copics. So I did that. But when I sent the email in, I told the art director at Topps, in the subject line, I put, have markers can hit deadlines. And I heard like an immediate response back. And so that was the first set was the Empire Strikes Back Wide Vision. And I've got like one of those cards here. Go opposite. There we go. I don't know if you can see it. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of that was the first set I did. This one I gave to my wife as a wedding present because she's a big Darth Vader fan. And we met because of Darth Vader and Star Wars and our love of both. But after that one, I was designing monuments at the time, like tombstones and flat markers and cemetery markers, that kind of thing. And I got laid off from that job, so I started doing more and more freelance stuff, and I was doing more and more of the sketch cards because Topps, they are constantly doing Star Wars sets, one right after the other.
Absolutely.
So I did those. I did some Mars Attacks. And then I got on with Cryptozoic, and I got on with Bragent, did like some Transformers, and I did some DC women cards for the Cryptozoic, and then I did some other stuff here and there for other smaller companies like Viceroy and oh gosh, a couple others. But recently, I've been doing cards for R.R. Parks, for Richard Parks.
Right.
I've done a couple of Halloween sets, and I've done a Nosferatu set, and done a couple of Ultraman sets, which is what I'm working on now. I can't show you those.
No.
But this is like the it's like trying to be a Muppet and go backwards. Here, there he is. That's one of the promo cards that I did for the Nosferatu set.
Amazing.
Yeah, so the Nosferatu was a lot of fun. Like I said, Ultraman, this will be the second Ultraman I've been working on. I did some Zorro cards for him. But the Halloween ones are a lot of fun, and that's my next ones to work on. So he's really taken off. I remember a couple of years back, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, he reached out to me and asked me about artists, and I said, well, I'll send you a list, and all their contact information. So if anybody gets mad at me, it's my fault. I actually I sent him a lot of people's contacts and stuff like that. So, and once you work for him, he's pretty good about inviting you on other sets, and if you say no, it's not a big deal. And one of the things I like with Richard is like he lets me do smaller amounts of cards, so I don't get the burnout like I was getting with Tops, because for Tops, it was like 100, 150 cards plus whatever artist returns I did as well, for every set. And so that just, after a while you go, man, how many times can I draw Darth Vader? How many, and this was before all like Mandalorian had hit or any of the other movies had hit. It was when I had stopped working for Tops.
So what do you like about our sets?
It was fun just to go wild, go crazy, do, whatever. I did a couple of Keaton from the Batgirl film, because I started working on it, and then we find out that it got canceled, and I was like, well, all right, fine, I'm drawing Keaton, so I drew Keaton Batman, and I think I did like Firefly and all that, but it was just fun to kind of like do a little bit of everything.
Just your choice.
Yeah. And I'm hopefully that's what your fans and the collectors will like as well. That it's not the same old images you see all the time. So hopefully it's a little more unique, and hopefully they like my style. Again, I work mostly Copic markers. I use some microns and some of the Prismacolor pencils, mostly the white for like highlights, and I use like a Jelly Roll for pen for highlights. But most of it is the Copics.
Well, I know you're well known already, but for our subscribers that don't know you, they're going to love your work. Your line work is amazing. Your colors are your whole. I've always been a fan ever since I've seen your first cover that I seen at the shop. I just continued every time you put a new one out there, I'd come back and I'd buy it. You know what I mean? I don't know how many I have, but I have several of your originals. And
well, thanks for helping support my comics habit. Because I would get trade with Jason for whatever my wife and I were coming in buying. So I'd go to pick stuff up, and he goes, yeah, you sold another, so you got some credit. And I'm like, all right, well, that's cool.
Well, like I said, I do love your work, and I was really excited that you accepted our invitation to come on board with us. Like I said, I was really excited, so I'm glad, and hopefully you'll continue if you can, and we'll go from there. So let's start. Yeah. Let's go into them, and let's just see why you picked these. I know you love Star Wars, because we have a lot of them. So let's talk about. All right, so you got. I believe that's Wicked. Is that
Wicked?
All right, Wicked. All right. and this actually, you drew this storm. Can you see them? If I'm okay,
Yep.
So you drew this one, I believe, on a Star Wars cover.
Yeah, I did a sketch cover. They're one of the new tank troopers.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was
I think yeah.
I believe it was front and back cover.
Yeah, I usually do either wraparounds or I'll do like a big. Well, I can kind of show you here. These are a couple I did for my wife. There is a Supergirl, and I get the glare off of it.
Oh, yeah.
There she is. That's the front, and then there's Melissa Benoist on the. I'm so bad at I couldn't be a Muppeteer. All right,
That's it.
There you go. Yeah, so I do that. I do this is a. Here we go again.
There you go.
There.
Oh, wow.
Winter Soldier. There.
That's awesome.
I'll try to turn it to where I don't have to move it. But yeah, there's the back, and you kind of see how it wraps around right there. But yeah, that one had like a tank.
Is that for sale?
No, these two I did for my wife as birthday presents. That's one of the good things about having a wife who's a fangirl. She loves getting stuff like this for birthdays. Oh. She actually shares a birthday with Oscar the Grouch, and I share one with Cookie Monster. So I did her an Oscar the Grouch this year for her birthday. And I do them, there's like different. I've got different. Got my own sketch card blanks. There we go. Yeah, it's like that, and then just blank. So I got those. I've got some MSCA ones I had made up for the guys in the group. And when we do, we get together at 901 Comics about once, twice a month. And we have our monthly dinner meetings at Garibaldi's Pizza over by the U of M. It's like first Tuesday of every month. And I've been getting the guys into doing sketch cards. And like I said, I had about 300 blanks or so, 500 blanks printed up. And so whenever we do our SAT art days, which we do in the back gallery room of 901 Comics, or our drink and draw nights, I'll have those blanks and just hand them out to the guys. And several of them have gone, every time they come in, they go, "You got some more than blanks?" And I go, yeah, here. Yeah, so they've gotten hooked on them.
I got plenty of blanks. From different series, I have plenty of blanks.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So let's go into. Let's go. You got Django Fett.
Yeah, there's a Django. There's a bike scout trooper. I can't remember what the
what is he called?
Black ones are. They're like a death trooper or something like that. Because they were from Rogue One.
All right.
Yeah, because a lot of these I did because I love doing the helmeted characters. I love doing aliens. That was the fun part about Star Wars, was just getting to draw all the aliens and that sort of thing. Drawing Mark Hamill is kind of hard, and I ran into Adam Hughes. He was doing a marker demo with his wife Allison in Atlanta at Binders, and I asked him, I was like, "Do you have problems drawing Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker?" He goes, "Oh God, yes." And I was like, "Oh, thank God, it's not just me."
I don't know if they can see that or not. I don't know where it's.
There he is. Yeah, there's a stormtrooper.
I'm just saying that your work is amazing. Like I said, I can't say enough about it. I love your work. So,
well, thank you.
It's great. And here's the sad part, because you're not open for commission, but where can people find you at? Just say, because I know you sell stuff still. You do your own.
Right.
You actually pick your own things. You draw it and then you sell it.
Right. Yeah. I've like yourself. You can go to the Cellar, which is in it's Bartlett, but it's Memphis. It's suburb Memphis on Bartlett Avenue. They've got some of my sketch cards and my sketch covers there. I need to do some more sketch covers, and that's this big box. It's on anyway, yeah. over my other shoulder. That's full of sketch card blanks that I need to get working on. But yeah, you can go to the Cellar on Bartlett Boulevard, or you can come out to 901 Comics East, where I work, and I've got several sketch cards there. I've got personal sketch cards that are drawn on my blanks, but I've also got official returns from like Manos and from Star Wars and some of the other official blanks that I've worked on.
So if they called the store and asked to send pictures of what you had, because you don't have it listed anywhere online.
I've got a few on, like if you go to my website, go to linworkman.com, and I usually have, whenever I do new sketch cards and stuff like that, I will post which sketch cards I've done, where you can find them at, but I'll also post progressional shots of how I did it. And so you can actually see, we start off with the pencils and then the colors and then the inks and then the highlights and stuff like that. So it's linworkman.com, and it'll have links to where you can see them, as well as photos of
will you ship them? Will you ship and everything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. Because I'm going to tell you, the people that don't get these, they're going to want some of your work.
Well, good. I hope so. Yeah.
So you got a Jawa here, and then you got a Inquisitor.
No, that's one of the Emperor's Royal Guards.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is, I don't remember which one it is.
That's Batman. These two Batman and the one at the bottom, the Firefly, are all from the Batgirl movie that got canned.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So I saw those images online. I was like, "Ooh, those look pretty cool. I want to do those." And then we found out that the movie got canned. So yeah, and then there's a She-Hulk. So my wife was a big fan of She-Hulk, so I had to draw a She-Hulk.
What about you? Were you a fan of She-Hulk?
Oh yeah. I like it, but my wife is I've read comics since the mid late 70s. But my wife can school me on comic knowledge and what's going on in the industry as far as TV shows and tie-ins and that sort of thing. So I kind of she told me about it before I knew about it, and it's one of the shows that we binged or watched every week. And so yeah, it's like I said, she's a huge Star Wars fan. It's doing those kind of sketch cards. Like it's the 10-year-old in me that went to go see Star Wars in the theater, it just still geeks out a bit, especially when I was doing like official Star Wars sets.
I bet. Yeah. Me and my wife actually binged She-Hulk doing. We really liked it. I know it. There was a lot of people that didn't, but I thought it was great. I thought it was great with fun. The sensational She-Hulk is what I was thinking.
Yeah, my biggest problems, I don't think they stuck the landing with the last episode, but I felt the same way about WandaVision. And there's times when sometimes I was watching the special effects and I'm like, you've got deep fake technology and you've got an actual, body stand-in, for the She-Hulk. I don't know why they didn't do more, actual actress, stand-ins for some of the shots, especially walking around the lawyer's office and all that. But other than that, I loved it. I thought it was fun. Yeah. We've enjoyed watching the Marvel series, and but I think that, and I think like the Falcon and Winter Soldier both suffered from the whole COVID thing. I think they're just trying to get this thing shot and trying to get, having to change locations on like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was kind of tough. For what they had to work with in the conditions they had to work with, I really enjoyed them.
So. I did too. You got Slimer, is that what's
yep.
This? Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm a Memphis Ghostbuster with my buddy Kevin and some of our other friends. So I had to throw a Slimer in there.
And then you got Batgirl. Is that right?
Yeah.
And
yeah. I'm.
Is this from the movie too? This ain't from the movie. That's original. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's Javon Craig. Yeah.
So what Batgirl got canceled?
It is the new. It's kind of like what they call it, like the Burnside version of Batgirl. and
It wasn't Batwoman, was it? The Batwoman got
No.
canceled. Okay.
No. It was actual. This was just the movie, and it's the girl playing Batgirl was from In the Heights, one of the Lin-Manuel Miranda movies. But it and like a Scooby Doo and something else all got canceled when they had like a new person come in at Warner Brothers and just kind of said, yeah, we're going to get rid of this, get rid of that. And they basically took the tax write-off on it, which is kind of sad. I know folks with Scooby Doo, the crew got to see the movie. I think Paul Dini, who's co-creator of Harley Quinn, he wrote, I think he was with the writer on it. And so he and some of the crew got to see it. But since they took the write-off, it's apparently we'll never see it or Batgirl. It can't be released, which, like I said, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
They had Brandon Fraser as Firefly, and this, and Keaton was coming back in this before the Flash movie. So,
and Keaton was coming back for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we've got him in the Flash movie coming up.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it's it looks to be more of a Batman movie than a Flash movie, but from what they're showing us. But I'm interested to see what they do with Supergirl, and I'm interested to see how they play with the multiverse, because you've got Batfleck and you've got Keaton in it as two different Batman. So
you think it's going to have so much going on at one time that's too much?
It could suffer from that, but I'm hoping that the story's good, and it's not like they haven't had plenty of time to work on it.
Right.
It keeps getting pushed back and pushed back. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lin, I appreciate you sharing this beautiful work with us. I know our subscribers are going to love them. And if they don't, well, guess what? I'll keep them.
There you go. Yeah, you can just say, yeah, everybody just didn't like it. I don't know what.
Nobody commented, man. They didn't enter to win.
Right.
we really have some loyal followers that's been following us for several years now.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to give back. We always say, you spend $300 on a box of cards to pull a sketch card out. And, this is a way that they can get original work. And it's just amazing. Look at all the detail in that card.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Ronnie Crowther, I'm always going to give him credit for it now, because we don't like calling them sketch cards anymore. We like calling them art cards.
Yeah.
Because I remember sketch cards. I remember just the pencil sketches, and when they came out, they were just little sketches, little doodles, and it wasn't great. I mean, this right here is, I would frame those.
Well, I've done a few sketch cards in my time, because it's like Mars Attacks. There were several of those that were just like color pencil and done quick. Because again, I was having to do like 100, 110, something like that. And again, it's that was 12, 13 years ago is when Nikki and I first got together. And there was times I thought I was going to have to hook up a bottle of Mountain Dew intravenously, just to keep me going over the weekend. I can't do that anymore. There's a lot more gray, and as you saw earlier, I got the glasses I have to wear now. But I still love doing them. I need to do, like I said, I need to get back to doing more of the sketch covers, because I've kind of pushed them to the side just because I keep having these other little smaller sketch card gigs. Or art card gigs. But I can put anywhere from 30, 45 minutes into a card up to an hour, 2 hours, sometimes, just depending on what the subject is.
So you're telling me these take you 30 minutes to do one of these cards?
Probably not those.
That's what you say. No, they're great.
Yeah, some of my earlier ones that I, like I said, I was doing sketch cards. I try to keep it in the 30 minute or to hour range. Um, but and there's some that I was probably doing that that speed back when I was doing like probably my third or fourth Star Wars set, at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning on Saturday or something. But a lot of those, there's times when I look at some of the cards that I'll see pop up, and I go, I don't even remember drawing that. I was so tired at the time. So yeah, I apologize for some of those if anybody pulled one of them.
If you want to sell them, let me have them. I'll
There you go. Yeah,
I'm still a fan. I'm definitely a fan of your work. So,
well, it's the problem I've had recently with selling cards. Like when I first did the wide vision set, people were like gobbling them up, and it helped pay for our wedding.
Oh.
And but I think, like, especially with like the Star Wars stuff, I think they saturated the market really quick with it. And it seemed like, it's one thing to have one or two sets come out a year, for a particular property. But when you start having three or four or more, and you're doing several hundred artists, I think it just kind of floods the market. But so I'm glad that you guys are doing this sort of thing, so people, can get the sketch cards. And I had fun doing them. Like, I drew them while I'm sitting there watching TV, and I was probably watching She-Hulk when I was drawing the She-Hulk covers, cards. So,
are you still go to the Memphis Comic Con still?
The Comic Expo.
Yeah.
I don't set up at cons anymore. I quit setting up at cons in 2019, just before the pandemic hit. I'd set up at the Memphis Library Con with the cartoonist group, the MSCA, and I remembered almost instantaneously why I don't do it anymore. Just the load in and load out. It's like,
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting too old for this. But I do love attending the cons, and like the Memphis Comic Expo, or DonnieCon as we call it. It's coming up in September, and he's always got great guests. Like I said, I saw William there. I'd love for him to get like Tone in there sometime, because Tone was like one of the first comic guys I met when I was setting up in Phoenix. He was like my table neighbor with Tess Fowler. So yeah, I love his work.
We've tried to get in to Memphis as just media, but I don't think they like media people there. I'm not sure, but we'd like to set up and with our booth and everything, and just
your traveling circus sideshow.
Yeah, that's right.
I've seen it. I've seen video of it. Yeah,
have you seen it? Yeah,
that would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
Maybe one day we'll get in Memphis, because we'd love to.
Yeah, I'd love to see you guys up here.
Well,
and again, I'd love to get down there one of these times, and get a chimichanga and go check out and see what the inside of the shop and your speakeasy area and all that. It's coming along nicely.
I have been working on it night and day for the last few weeks. I'll tell you what, when we get off here, I'll do I don't even know if I'll do a Facebook video with you, and I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Well, I tell you what, thanks again for joining us on our adventure. It's been fun talking to you. It's fun to get to know you and share your work with everybody. I mean, for those that don't know Lin Workman, look him up. His work is amazing. You'll love it just like I do. And before we go, we got to give away this week's artist giveaway. So I'm gonna find a winner real quick. congratulations to the winners of Michael Mastermakers, another phenomenal artist. And if you you missed out on that, you don't want to miss out on this one. Lin Workman is the first time he's been with us, and I've been following Lin for quite a while. So make sure you go follow him on all of his socials, and we'll have it down below and go from there. And
how do people win?
It's pretty simple. You on our YouTube, in the description of the video, all you've got to do is click on the description of the video, and there's a blue link that pops up. It says giveaway. Click on it, and because people's YouTube name is not their real name, all you got to do is fill that information out, and it just says your name, your address, and your top cards that you want. Out of all these right here, you take these right here, and all you got to do is fill in your name, because your name is not the same as YouTube. You don't have to call back in and claim. Since we have everything, all your information, what we're going to do is we'll stick it in a random.org, draw the first top 10 people, and boom, you win. That's easy. Cool. And we automatically mail anywhere in the world. Wow. And it don't cost anybody anything. Mm-hmm. So
if my cards, nobody wants them, then you get them, right? That's
true.
A good deal. That's a good deal for you.
Yeah. I'm hoping that only 5 people. No, I'm sure this one's going to be a big one. Yeah, it'll definitely be a big one.
I hope so. And like I said, let me know when you guys are needing me to come back around. This fall or next spring or whenever it is.
Actually, I plan on sending them out next month.
Okay. Well, cool.
So
fantastic.
All right. Well, again, thanks for coming on board with us. Don't forget about Thursday nights, Gabe's Cave After Dark with Uncle Nasty, $1 auction nights. And again, let's thank our sponsors, RPG Hiring, rpghiring.com, and Comic Shield. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Bye.